I'm on the phone with Harry Shearer, who is promoting his new album, The Many Moods of Donald Trump. But besides that, he is very well known for his roles on The Simpsons, in Spinal Tap, and on Saturday Night Live, and just one of probably the most popular yet exciting interviews that I've ever had. Harry, good morning. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Good morning. Thank you.
So I wanted to start off by just asking, how has life been for you and things been going during this pandemic?
You know, I have to say I've been incredibly fortunate. First of all, the show that I work on, The Simpsons, has been in production throughout this period, unlike most television shows. So I've had a job to go to, even though going to the job has meant just going to the other side of the room.
Sure.
But it's been, and then this project, the Donald Trump project, has been the other thing that's been occupying me, making this record and then making the videos that go with it. So I've been fortunately busy pretty much throughout this period, and noticing how much more time I have in my day from all the driving I'm not doing.
I can imagine that. As I mentioned, you're probably most known for your roles in Spinal Tap, SNL, and The Simpsons. What role that you've had throughout your career has maybe been your favorite to be a part of? Not necessarily one of those, but if it is one of those, it could be.
Yeah, it's Derek Smoltz from Spinal Tap. I've been Derek over more time in more different situations, and always improvising the character. I think the only time Derek ever had dialogue written for him was when Spinal Tap were guests on The Simpsons. So I feel he's more a part of me almost than any other character that I've ever done. Since I have to do the bass playing for him, I really feel close to him.
Sure. Do you feel like your work that you've done as maybe a voice actor and an actor, and now you've kind of segued into some impressions, I guess you could say, is that something that you feel like can be learned and practiced, or is that something that you feel like it's really a gift, you're kind of born with it, and it's something that's kind of hard to transition into? I
can only judge from my experience, in which it can be practiced, but the practice happens when you're a kid. I had a tape recorder, and I would have friends over, and we'd do shows on the tape recorder, and I know that I was thinking in my head, I'm doing this guy's voice now, I'm doing this guy's voice. But of course, if you were sitting where my parents were sitting and listening to it go by, you think, well, it all sounds the same to me.
Sure.
But I realized later I wasn't training my voice, I was training my ear. To listen and think, oh, this guy sounds like this and this guy, but I couldn't make the sounds yet. So, a lot of what happens when you're a kid and you're quote playing turns out to be training for if you're fortunate enough to do creative work, what you end up doing for real later on. But there is also, I inherited my voice from my dad, and I inherited music from both parents who were very musical. So yeah, you gotta have the ingredients, but you make the recipe.
That works. So what has been maybe your favorite, I guess, stereotypical Hollywood moment, or was there a moment for you when you were kind of submerged in it and you thought, wow, this is it, like I've made it, I'm successful now?
I haven't had that yet.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. The first moment that I remember that was like, oh my God, was I was a kid and I was working on the Jack Benny program. Jack Benny was sort of the king of comedy in an earlier era. And the first time we were reading a script, and the first time I made him laugh, I thought, oh, give me more of this,
It's addicting.
So it was.
So you've always wanted to be, since you were a little kid, kind of in show business. So is that something that you feel like you've reached that goal, or is that something that is still maybe an ongoing goal and project for you, that there's still a lot more that you want to do with your career?
Oh yeah, there are movies I want to get made, and some other projects. But I left show business. I was a kid. I worked as a child, and then I left, and I thought, okay, I'm going to have a grown-up career. When I was 16, went to university, and then I tried a bunch of other things and came scrambling back to show business about 8 years later. And I thought, when I came back, okay, I'm in it for keeps. You're gonna have to really work hard to get rid of me, meaning show business. And so I've managed to hang on so far.
Well, good deal. So you're on the longest running sitcom in history, The Simpsons. You voice the list of characters that you voice on that show is quite impressive. Who is your favorite?
C. Montgomery Burns, because he's pure evil, and nothing is more fun to do than pure evil.
Do you feel like
as everybody knows when it's Halloween?
Absolutely. So, do you feel like each character that you voice on The Simpsons maybe presents a little part of you coming out, or is like a sub, I guess, personality that you might have that's kind of coming out in the character?
No. I feel that way with people that I choose to make fun of sometimes, like Richard Nixon, the former president, whom I did a TV series about in England that's on YouTube now. I would discover as I was playing him, I resonate to that. I understand why he felt that way. Not that I was sympathizing with him, but I just saw a part of myself. But with the Simpsons characters, no, because I didn't create them. I created their sound, but they didn't spring from me, so I don't find that same resonance. It's just a matter of performing the words that are fantastically written for me.
Well, there you go. So tell me about the mini moods of Donald Trump. I've seen one of the videos and heard Son-in-Law is very funny stuff. What can we expect from the mini moods of Donald Trump?
Well, it's a song a week on my YouTube channel and on music streaming services, continuing up through October. And everyone is kind of a different musical style, but there's songs about things he said that have struck me funny, like the phrase "very stable genius" sort of occurred to me as a funny phrase.
Sure.
Or his tendency when somebody pops up from his past and is godforsaken critical of him, his phrase is always, "I never met him, never knew her." So I did a song about that. And as I say, each one is in a somewhat different musical style. All the styles sort of, to me, come from music that he probably heard coming up or in his adult life. Like there's a song called COVID 180 that part of which to me sounds like what he was hearing at Studio 54 in the late 70s, you know?
Sure.
So I'm trying to put him in a musical context that he would be familiar with.
Excellent. Well, Harry, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me again today, and best of luck to you on the success of the mini moods of Donald Trump.
Thank you, sir. Great to talk to you.